Important new January 2023 developments. Many of you have asked and expressed concern that I was taken offline. I was not, and I am back. I'm sorry that I haven't been able to update you as promised on any of my videos or respond to you. My partner's work has us transferred to Kazakhstan for at least 1 year. Those of you that know my partner's work knows when told to go, you go with little notice and not to question. Once settled and depending on reliable internet, I intend on continuing to update the bad person's videos. I know the second video for this channel is about done and the guys can upload soon. It's a doozy. Save my new address for the next year or so or until the next transfer. I doubt there would be any reason to be transferred back to Canada. So, thank you and goodbye to the great people of Canada. You truly made us feel welcome and at home. Time to start the updates before the video.
Hey people, I'm not gone yet. I have to update. I updated all the things. They only gave me a warning. So I can stream from it, upload from it. All is well for now. I want to thank everybody that blesses our channel. And everybody and each other and me. Totally appreciated. Thank you all for being with me during this journey. All right. I just wanted to give you a little bit of an update because a bunch of things has been happening, as you guys know. Which is why I think I started this video. So I'll give you an update on that at the end. Anyways, I have a clip ready to go.
The main video with a ton of content will begin in just about 90 seconds. But first there is a major update added to the start of this video. If you don't know about this information and about what has taken place, you need to carefully watch and listen to the entire video because there is a bunch of information. I also had to remove and change my email address because of harassment from Jerome Valenta posing as John Wells. I hate chopping up this video, but new evidence keeps presenting itself. Mostly provided by Jerome Valenta himself. Proving yet again what a narcissist and idiot he truly is. I promise this will be the last update and that the guys will have the new video done very soon. Here is an example of yet another new update and more information that we will expose in more detail in the next video. This is an update because on October 21, 2022, Jerome Valenta contacted me and sent more letters to a judge, YouTube and an attorney pretending to be John Wells. It has already been proven that John Wells is made up by none other than Jerome Valenta and that Jerome Valenta poses as John Wells to harass Cape Coral employees, judges, attorneys and others. We had asked Yahoo to investigate the email account claimed to be John Wells of our allegation and our opinion that it is Jerome Valenta. Yahoo has confirmed because of this discovery request that indeed the account starting with 277 and then ending with 96 is Jerome Valenta's main email account. And also has full control of both of the accounts claiming to be a John Wells and Howie or Howard Cantrell. It also confirms that the same computer is used for these email accounts and is assigned to Jerome Valenta. The most recent was on October 21, 2022 when Jerome Valenta sent an email from his John Wells email account pretending to send himself an email from John Wells. He included sending a carbon copy to me and others. He included several documents. One is a letter addressed to Judge Frank Porter claiming to be written by and from John Wells. Another one was addressed to an attorney Benjamin Yorma claiming to be written by and from John Wells. The letter to the judge also included a proof of service from a Jean Chang. We must now investigate who is Jean Chang. If two not real, then Jerome Valenta committed fraud and a felony claiming a served proof of service. If Jean Chang is real, did indeed send these letters to a judge knowing they are from Jerome Valenta and not a real person? If so, would deposing Jean Chang prove Jerome Valenta sent these letters to a judge via U.S. Postal Service committing fraud and several felonies? Does Jean Chang know that by doing so for Jerome Valenta they have themselves committed the same fraud and felonies? We will find out more when Jean Chang is found and can arrange for a deposition. Then we will have an opportunity to ask questions. Many questions. Since the first video that aired in July of 2020, there have been several updates. In the last video I asked if people can come forward with evidence. Several have contacted me and sent videos and photos of their rooms and other areas. Until the new video is done with over 150 images and videos of this place, I will show you just a few now in this video. At the end of this video I cover a huge number of new findings with photos and documents that will be detailed in the next video. So please watch to the end of this video so you are brought up to speed.
Listen, evil, disgusting person that would purposely really go out of his way to screw anybody over. And then some of the most disgusting things, a little of the horror that we discover, including what I'm about to show you right now. I already told you, people. I told you you need to watch out for that little piece of shit. He likes to strike controversy. Thinks he can go around acting tough. I don't think that's a good idea. Despite whatever beliefs you believe in about how you could face up with anybody in a war of words and you're gonna make them look stupid. That any type of intellectual conversation, that the other person will eventually expose themselves. And that there's no match to your type of intelligence when it comes to those type of things. I don't proclaim to be that talented. All that I'm able to do is this. But yeah, there's a video coming on you. And again, it's not bullying. It's showing you who you really are. And the video is there for everybody to see. Hopefully this won't be too long. I'm going to just name a few things. For example, stop bullying and attacking all these great people.
A sign outside the Chapel of Divine Love says God's house has been condemned by the city of Cape Coral. There is a church on this property, but some apartments as well. And the people who live there say they're being forced out because the landlord is upping the rent.
Jerome Valenta is the self-appointed president of Haven of Divine Love. The self-appointed president of Haven of Divine Love.
Jerome Valenta is the self-appointed president of Haven of Divine Love. He says it's a Christian nonprofit. There's this chapel and apartments for low-income seniors and people with disabilities. We got our hands on the lawsuit. The city says there are issues with not only the stairs, but infestation, junk, and broken windows. They want Valenta to pay up.
This issue has nothing to do with the stairs. The stairs were structurally sound from day one.
This issue has nothing to do with the stairs. The stairs were structurally sound from day one. This issue has nothing to do with the stairs. The stairs were structurally sound from day one. The stairs were structurally sound from day one. The stairs were structurally sound from day one.
The owner of this place made headlines being that supposedly, actually it wasn't supposedly, it was true, he was convicted of it. And when I did some more research on it, it was out of California. And he also, so.
Let me reiterate the truth. Evil always reveals itself. And God works in mysterious ways. So many times I question, what the fuck, why am I involved in this thing now and this thing, and why all of a sudden? And you guys tell me, Tony, God knows what he's doing, I know this. God put that person in your path for a reason. There's something bigger at the end of this. Or eventually, there's a reason. Don't question. Just follow the path. Just one guy trying to expose a lot of evil. Let's continue.
As you can see this sign up here saying it was condemned. Now all this is going on, it's been going on for I think about 5 years or so. It's like a church, there's a chapel, obviously, and then a lot of building code violations. It's right here beside the Little People preschool property here. It's maybe the guy right here walking this way. Hi there.
Just curious, what you doing?
Just taking some pictures.
Huh?
Taking pictures.
For any particular reason?
I'm doing an investigation, so I can't really reveal that to you until I'm done with my story of this property.
Huh?
Of this property.
Well, I'm the owner of this property, so
Okay.
you couldn't be doing it for me.
I'm the owner of this property, so
Okay.
You couldn't be doing it for me.
Well, it's for somebody.
Yeah.
So I'm investigating the property, and again, it's just like with any story, I'm not trying to be rude, I can't tell you my story until, you know.
And on whose authority do you have the right to come and photograph my property?
The First Amendment of the Constitution.
The First Amendment of the Constitution of the United States of America.
Not meaning any harm out here, but
What's up?
I said I'm just a photographer that likes taking pictures and videos, and you're welcome to do that. That's your First Amendment right, sir. So you're the owner? Do you have a name? You have your name. What's your name? It's probably in the newspaper articles, your name, right?
Huh?
You're probably in the newspaper articles about 4 or 5 years ago with your name. I'll find your name.
No matter. It's just,
Yeah. Well, I'm not on your property. I'm on the public street here, so I said I'm not on your property.
I'm just curious what you're,
Yeah, I understand
doing
that.
for the city of Cape Coral, then we're going to have a problem.
Okay, well, what if I did work for the city of Cape Coral? I'm on the sidewalk, and I'm not trying to cause anything. I done told you that. I meant no ill will. So this ought to be a really good story, guys. Really good story. And I truly believe, since he said he was the owner, this guy, his whole demeanor of him coming towards me like that is just ridiculous. You know what I mean? You can read up on the pastor or whoever it was. This is the guy right here.
While investigating Jerome Valenta, easily obtainable records show that the state of Florida believes that Jerome Valenta lives in Bakersfield, California at 327 18th Street. However, I went to the Chapel Properties office when I saw Jerome Valenta had left the property. I told the people sitting in front of the office that I was looking for a place to live and wanted to know more about the place. I was told that I need to speak to Jerry. I assumed that's the same as Jerome, but I still asked and said that I had spoken to a Jerome. Is Jerry the same person? I was told yes, but that they all called him Jerry. I was able to ask some basic questions about the property and was told that I really needed to speak to Jerry. I then asked how often is Jerry around and was clearly told by several responses that Jerry is always around, especially to collect the money. At least for the first week of every month he is there every day. And random times the rest of the month. One said for me to just call and leave a message and he will be right over, and that he only lives a few minutes away. Looking further into this, I again easily discovered on the property's Facebook page there are many flyers posted making all kinds of accusations against Cape Coral employees and judges. Some bizarre stuff. For a church and non-profit organization, I might add, there is literally nothing Christian or church related on the property's pages. You should see for yourself. The first post on the Facebook page shares information about a book that Howard Cantrell is writing about how evil and corrupt Cape Coral, Florida is and its employees. This book supposedly features the events that took place against the property and Haven of Divine Love and its chapel. I went to the website it sent me to. There is no place like capecoral.com. Wow! Within minutes of reading, it is clear to state that the entire website is filled with harassment, hate, slander, defamation statements and claims against at least 40 members of Cape Coral code enforcement, police officers, council members and even several judges. The list goes on, most of which sounds as if a narcissist had written it. Not an experienced book writer or author, as the website claims. A narcissist's projection is psychological manipulation to deny their own faults, as they can never be accountable. Instead, they accuse those around them. A narcissist verbally attacks, devalues, or projects slander onto their targets or victims. They have two objectives. One is projection, but the other is to dirty a bright spot in the victim's character with whatever slander they are projecting at them. This is, of course, the mentality of the narcissistic terrorist, who must tear other people's integrity down and ultimately harm or destroy them or their reputation to protect their own distorted existence. In one of the articles, there is a story of an ex-employee or volunteer of the property named Michael Anagnos. Michael sued Jerome Valenta and the property for back pay, and get this, defamation and slander. Yep, you heard it. Michael Anagnos sued Jerome Valenta and won a $100,000 settlement against Jerome Valenta because when the two had a falling out, Jerome Valenta posted a flyer on the doors of the property that Michael Anagnos was banned from the property, that Michael Anagnos had sexually assaulted Quan Chan at the home of Jerome Valenta while he was out of town, at the address of 4424 North Atlantic Circle in North Fort Myers, Florida. That seems to be the address where Jerome Valenta has been living, even though the state of Florida believes he has been living in Bakersfield, California since 2018. The flyer also asked for any evidence against Michael Anagnos and for other victims to come forward. There was none and there is none. It was all made up and the jury awarded Michael Anagnos $100,000 in damages. I wanted to find out more about this book the site states is coming out in 2022. I attempted several times to reach out to Howard Cantrell through the email the website gives with no avail. So I took to the internet to find contact information on him and what else he has written. You are not going to believe what I have found, and for the next few minutes you may want to sit down and pay attention to follow along. It is interesting. All of the following information was easily obtained within minutes using Google. No fancy magic ball was needed. The first thing that I did and thought would find me the contact information that I was looking for right away was to run a basic whois search for the domain name thereisnoplacelikecapecoral.com. Whois.com is the most popular website to use. Whois search is just as easy as using a phone book. Seriously folks. You go to a site like whois.com and type in the search box the domain name of the owner or contact information you are looking for. In most cases the owner's name, address and phone number is listed. The contact information whois.com provided is the phone number 661-336-0117 and the same street address 331 17th Street, Bakersfield, California is on the first page of the website. There is no place like capecoral.com. Thinking nothing of it, I called 661-336-0117 to reach out to Howard Cantrell. What I did not expect is an answering machine with Jerome Valenta announcing yet another business extend a hand. That we will dive into in another future video. I found just about the same evidence of a sham as there is no place like capecoral.com. Let's continue. So now, realizing that the phone number for Howard Cantrell was answered by none other than Jerome Valenta, I went back to the internet to do a reverse phone number lookup. And lo and behold, who owns 661-336-0117? Jerome Valenta. My suspicions on high alert, I continue to investigate this supposed Howard Cantrell. This part of my search did take me a couple of hours. I could not find any evidence of his existence. Not on any people find or search sites, nothing ever written by him under Howard or Howie as the email address suggests. Nothing. I continued my investigation into this and have discovered more lies and interesting information. The address 331 17th Street, Bakersfield, California, clearly given on there is no place like capecoral.com website, and the same address on whois.com for the contact information for the domain yields some interesting finds. Doing a simple property search, I discovered that the property 331 17th Street, Bakersfield, California was owned by Quan M. Chan, and in 2017 added a Run Chan Yao to the deed. But Quan M. Chan still maintains ownership of 331 17th Street, Bakersfield, California. I find this very interesting because Quan M. Chan is the person listed as Vice President and Secretary of the Chapel Properties. Are you serious? This only tells me that both Jerome Valenta and Vice President Quan M. Chan are about the dumbest criminals or idiots on the internet. Somehow, someway, it seems one of them thought, hey, let's throw up a website. Call it there is no place like capecoral.com. Slander the bejesus out of everyone associated with the problem stemming from the Chapel Properties, and no one will know it was us. This by far is the most idiotic attempt at reverse psychology I have ever found. Not only that, leaves both Jerome Valenta and Quan M. Chan liable for all of the slander and statements made about all of the Cape Coral people listed on there is no place like capecoral.com. My conclusion, based on very true and undeniable facts and evidence. There is no person named Howard Cantrell writing a book, and that this is some sick scheme thought up by Jerome Valenta and Quan M. Chan to slander, defame and harass judges, police officers and other Cape Coral Council members and city personnel. I plan on handing over my finding to the mayor's office and city attorney of Cape Coral and let them decide what to do about it. I am going to keep investigating this one, folks, because I believe this Christian church non-profit organization they claim to be is nothing more than a ruse, cover-up or sham of a phony tax haven. I am not able to find one shred of evidence that this has actually been a church in at least the last 10 years. If you have evidence to the contrary, please come forward. Now getting back to the video, because there is yet even more.
It's pretty clear that they're declaring war on Cape Coral. Now this has been up here, I think, about 4 or 5 years. I know they had a lot of issues with code enforcement. Seems like most of it was code enforcement, but a lot of those code violations will hurt people that live here. Meaning a stairwell might not be up to code. A sink, a bathtub might fall through the ceiling. The roof might fall in. This is why the code enforcement is here. And if you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe just about all churches have a where they don't pay any taxes. I think they're tax-free.
Looking for more information on Haven of Divine Love and the chapel properties, I found some of the things alleged and written about Jerome and the property. This person wrote, "I would not put my worst enemy in this place." And, "Jerry is an egomaniac with a messiah complex. Dangerous guy. Everyone hates him, and the residents are afraid of him." Another wrote, "If you have a health problem with breathing, you might not want to rent a room. They have mold growing in attic and in the walls where they always have water leaks. The AC units are full of nasty dirty germs and mold. You don't have to take my word for it, just ask the people that have lived there. I lived there for almost 4 years and had many trips to the hospitals for breathing problems." And Richard Hilbert, who has proven to have lived at Haven of Divine Love for several years, wrote, "It is a mold-infested place to live. They constantly have water leaks in the attic and the walls. They cut holes in the walls to fix the leaks, but never replaces the wet wood and plaster. It is very hot in the attic, so the mold grows in the walls and attic areas. They sand off the mold off the walls, then they paint over mold so it just comes back. The owner takes your money every month, but never puts any money back into your room. The beds are many years old and are nasty to sleep on. If you're going to pay all the money they ask, you're better off finding something that is mold-free. This is not a healthy place to stay. In any case, you must make your own decisions. I am only bringing to your attention what others have written and have alleged."
But this is the building next to, it's the same property. Right here beside a preschool. Oh, there's no power meter there? I don't even know if this place has even got power. I know the last thing I read, they cut off the water and everything here. I want to find out more about this. I also most definitely want to find out that this place right here, the little people, I just don't know if they know.
Coming up in the next video still being put together, I will expose and detail the following. After digging more into Jerome Valenta, and with my suspicions still on high alert, I have dug deep to try to make some sense of all of the letters and comments on There Is No Place Like CapeCoral.com, havenofdivinelove.net, and extendahandforjustice.org that defends and supports Haven of Divine Love and Jerome Valenta. I can't. I have been trying to contact other members of Extend a Hand and Haven of Divine Love for comment or information. Again, I can't. Every part of my investigation ends in a block wall that leads me to a legend. In my opinion, the Haven of Divine Love Church and Apartments and Extend a Hand for Justice and There Is No Place Like Cape Coral are all run by one man, Jerome Valenta. Articles written by Mitch Owens, Susie Weiner and Jimmy Mertz all seem to be the same writer. They all quote a John Wells that I can't seem to find or contact. I cannot find anything else these journalists have written either, except one in articles about Jerome Valenta written in 1996 in a publication that also seems to have all been again written by one person. My search for the truth here on this one has been exhausting. I have several people sifting through all the articles and highlighting the same phrases used, and will present all the findings and similarities of articles written as far back as the 1990s through today in the next video. I have dug and called and searched for the supposed John Wells and legal entity called Extend a Hand for Justice. There is none. It is not and has not ever been registered in the state of California. Same goes for the so-called president named John Wells. Not only can we not find, contact or find information on a John Wells, we have found several documents posted on the Extend a Hand website and promoted through Haven of Divine Love. And there is no place like Cape Coral websites that are clearly signed, mailed and sent via United States Postal Service to and responded to by the Florida court system. Wow! If my suspicion is correct, and in my opinion that Jerome Valenta wrote these letters himself and no legal person named John Wells. If so, Jerome Valenta not only submitted false evidence to a court, committed mail fraud and used a false identity. These letters were also addressed to the very judges overseeing the very cases against Jerome Valenta, thus committing at least 4 felonies, and could see up to 25 years in prison and fined hundreds of thousands of dollars. I am now investigating the legitimacy of the other members of Extend a Hand for Justice and Haven of Divine Love. Several of the renters have stated that they feel the person claiming to be making decisions for Haven of Divine Love named Lena Williams is not real. No one has ever seen or been able to contact this person. When Jerome is pressed for the whereabouts and a way to contact Lena Williams, they are told she is too old or ill, and that he will relay to her. One renter provided a letter from Lena Williams dissolving his rental agreement and told him to move out. If Jerome Valenta wrote this letter or any other in the name of a fictitious Lena Williams, that again is illegal, and the state of Florida needs to know. I too have searched and tried and cannot find Lena Williams in any way, shape or form being associated with Haven of Divine Love. In the next video, once released, you will see an overwhelming amount of evidence that supports my suspicions. Until then, seek for the truth, demand the truth, expose the truth.
So those are the updates, people. As you can tell, they now know that we're watching. So whatever I had said in the videos beforehand, everything I said was the truth. Don't go around saying that I was lying about you. What's wrong with you, man? I'm going to be watching because I want to see an idiot talk his way out of this. That's the footage I want, people. So if anybody wants to help me out, bring me all kinds of that from that disgusting, evil place. I'm going to be scouring the footage. And yeah, tomorrow we're back to work. Back to work doing all that I can do. Just one guy pissed off with a bunch of other pissed off people trying to expose a lot of evil. Because this is the easiest one to expose, and he's at the top of their organization. It's beautiful. So we'll see what happens. Go f*** yourself, you little piece of. This is all I say about you. You're garbage.
No fear! You think I don't see right through you? Have you not heard about my mission? Have you not heard about my gift to be able to see liars and deceivers? Have you not heard